Chosen one, I need you to stop exactly what you are doing right now. Do not scroll past this message. This is not the algorithm playing a random trick on you. This is an urgent, divine interception. Archangel Michael has personally routed this frequency to your screen today, and you are watching this because every other subtle sign has been missed. Listen to me very carefully. You just survived a severe humiliation ritual. They thought they could break you in front of everyone. They set the stage perfectly to make you look like the unstable one, while they whispered behind your back and smiled right to your face. But their orchestrated plan failed terribly. You did not break down the way they desperately wanted you to. You stood your ground. Your discernment literally saved your life. You felt the sinister energy before they even opened their mouths. That tightening in your chest was your spirit detecting a massive attack on your timeline. You saw the mask slip. You saw the absolute darkness hiding behind their fake concern, and you chose to remain completely silent. Your silence is what terrifies them the most. They expected you to scream, hoping you would defend yourself and feed their chaotic energy. When you gave them nothing, you starved their demonic attachment. You became an untouchable master of your reality. Now they are drowning in the exact poison they tried to force down your throat. Funny how the people who tried to destroy your reputation are suddenly experiencing heavy losses. They are watching everything they built start to crumble into dust. Because heaven is exposing exactly what happened behind those closed doors. The narcissists who plotted your downfall are currently in a state of absolute panic. They realized too late who they were messing with. But you are exhausted. The spiritual warfare has taken a massive toll on your physical body. You wake up at 3 in the morning with your heart racing, and you feel completely drained around certain people for no logical reason. Your body is holding on to the trauma of being constantly targeted. Heaven sees the heavy toll this battle has taken on your nervous system. Stop letting the world convince you that you are just stressed out or depressed. You are not losing your mind. The intense isolation you feel right now is actually a divine protection protocol. The universe had to ruthlessly remove those toxic connections from your environment because they were specifically assigned to drain your pure energy. You are being isolated for a kingdom-level upgrade. Let us talk about what really happened during that humiliation ritual. It was never about what you actually did or said. It was entirely about the blinding light you carry inside your soul. Your presence alone triggers their deepest insecurities and buried shame. They hate you because your pure frequency naturally exposes their hidden darkness without you saying a single word. They tried to turn your own kindness into a weapon against you. They took your empathy and tried to paint it as weakness, and the people you helped the most were the first ones to throw stones at you. That is the ultimate betrayal. But heaven allowed it to happen for a very specific reason. The betrayal was designed to forge you into a warrior of light. You are no longer the fragile empath who begs to be understood by broken people. That old version of you died in the middle of that storm, and you have been completely upgraded. The tears you cried in private watered the seeds of your immense spiritual power. Every closed door and rejected text message was actually God protecting your precious aura from energy vampires. Their evil agenda backfired spectacularly. Instead of destroying your confidence, they accidentally activated your highest spiritual defense mechanism when you stepped back and observed the manipulation. You set an unbreakable boundary, and by doing that, you single-handedly shifted the entire trajectory of your bloodline. You are the cycle breaker they always feared. Before we go any further, I want to hold something very important in front of you. Something that was discovered not inside a spiritual community, but inside a secure research laboratory. Something that won the highest scientific recognition available today. Most chosen ones have never been told about this hidden truth, because it explains exactly why you still feel so blocked. It explains that deep gap between the person you know yourself to be and the reality you are currently living in. You have felt this invisible ceiling for years. You know you carry a massive potential that seems available only in rare, fleeting flashes. You have done the heavy inner work and survived the brutal attacks. Yet the effortless flow of blessings still feels out of reach. I will show you exactly what the researchers found, but I cannot reveal it just yet. First, I need you to fully understand the mechanism of what was stolen from you during those years of trauma. So I need you to hold this specific question in your mind right now. What if the gap in your life is not a character flaw at all? What if this energy seal actually has a scientific name? Take a deep breath and let your shoulders drop. You have been carrying an incredible weight for so long. Your mind replays the unfair words they said about you over and over again. And the physical exhaustion you feel right now is the direct result of fighting a spiritual battle you never asked for. I see the invisible scars you try to hide from the world. They did not just attack your character. They tried to completely rewrite your history. The narcissist twisted your good intentions and painted you as the villain in a story where you were actually the victim. You watched people you trusted slowly distance themselves based on absolute lies. It felt like standing in a burning room while everyone else pretended there was no fire. You do not need to defend yourself anymore. You do not need to explain your heart to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Heaven kept a perfect record of every tear you cried in secret. The truth is already known in the spiritual realm. Your silence during their loud smear campaign was not a sign of surrender. It was a profound display of your incredible strength. Now you look around and your circle is completely empty. The phone stopped ringing. The invitations stopped coming. You sit alone in your room and wonder if you did something terribly wrong to deserve this intense loneliness. The sudden quiet feels heavy, and the enemy wants you to believe that you have been abandoned, but the darkness is lying to you right now. This isolation is absolutely not a punishment. It is a divine quarantine. The universe saw the hidden daggers they were holding behind their backs, and it violently removed them from your timeline. God had to clear the room to protect your pure frequency from their toxic contamination. You are not being rejected by the world. You are being carefully hidden away for your own safety. The betrayal was a brutal but necessary curriculum. They were sent into your life to teach you the true value of your own boundaries. You used to give your energy away to anyone who asked, believing that your love could fix their brokenness. And you had to learn the hard way that some souls are absolutely committed to their own destruction. You cannot save them. Stop blaming yourself for trusting the wrong people. Stop carrying the heavy guilt of a situation you did not create. Your pure heart naturally assumes the best in others, and that is a beautiful gift. Their decision to manipulate your kindness is a reflection of their dark void, not your lack of wisdom. You did nothing wrong when you offered them grace. When you finally embrace this divine isolation, everything begins to change. The silence that used to scare you will become your greatest sanctuary. You will start to hear the voice of your own intuition with absolute clarity because the noise of their opinions is completely gone. This empty space was created specifically to prepare you for the massive upgrade that is coming. While you are resting in this sacred isolation, they are wandering in chaos. The people who threw you to the wolves are currently turning on each other. The universe always collects its debts. You do not need to lift a single finger to seek revenge. Your only job right now is to heal your nervous system and let heaven fight the battles you walked away from. Pay close attention to your body in these quiet moments. That sudden drop in your stomach, when you think of them, is your intuition confirming the danger you escaped. The ringing in your ears and the vivid dreams you are having are clear signs of your spiritual recalibration. You are shedding the heavy, energetic attachments they secretly hooked into your soul. You were never meant to fit in with their shallow crowds. You are a rare soul. You are the anomaly they could never control. The deep loneliness you have felt since childhood was just the universe marking you for a higher purpose. They tried to extinguish your light with their humiliation ritual because they were absolutely terrified of what you were becoming. Do you feel that slight pull in your chest right now? That is your spirit recognizing the absolute truth of these words. The heavy burden of their toxic projections is finally lifting off your shoulders. You are stepping out of the victim role and reclaiming your quiet authority. You survived their worst attack, and you are still standing here with a pure heart. The wounds they caused are real, but they are not permanent. You are surviving this dark night of the soul. But there is a deeper layer to this phenomenon that you must understand before you can fully heal. The exhaustion you feel is not just emotional trauma. It is tied directly to the scientific secret I asked you to hold in your mind earlier. Your brain and your spirit have been locked in a desperate survival mode. And the universe is about to show you exactly how to break that invisible chain. You have passed the most brutal test of your character. Now, it is time to address the physical block they left behind in your system. Listen closely to this next part, because it will make sense of your entire past year. You might be asking yourself a very painful question right now. How did they get so close to you in the first place? You are a deeply spiritual person. You have a powerful soul. And yet, these toxic individuals managed to slip right past your heavy defenses and cross every single boundary you tried to set. They drained your precious energy. You feel like your compass completely failed you. Do not judge yourself for trusting them. The truth is that your spiritual radar was intentionally jammed. The narcissists did not outsmart you. They simply took advantage of a physical vulnerability that was violently forced upon you by the modern world long before you met them. There is a deeply hidden reason why your brilliant intuition was not functioning at full capacity during that time. Here is what they never told you. The reason the universe responds effortlessly to certain people and ignores others is not faith. It is not discipline. It is not even your karma. It is a specific brainwave. Scientists have a name for this hidden frequency. They call it gamma. And it is the exact frequency your beautiful brain was running when you were a little child exploring the world. Think back to when you were young. Ideas came to you effortlessly. Learning felt like absolute magic. You somehow knew things before they even happened. The world felt like it was completely on your side. That was your gamma brainwave, working in perfect harmony with the divine, keeping you naturally plugged into the infinite intelligence of the universe. Your pure intuition was an absolute shield. Then adulthood quickly arrived, and this broken society went to work on your spirit. The chronic stress, the glowing screens, the endless survival routine, the rigid school systems trained you to conform instead of creating the life you were meant to live. Every single year, this sacred frequency was suppressed a little further. It was pushed deeper and deeper below the surface of your conscious mind until you forgot how to access it. When your gamma faded, your spiritual genius faded right along with it. Your razor-sharp intuition began to dull. The daily synchronicities suddenly stopped. The undeniable sense that the universe was actively working with you went completely silent. Your beautiful brain was violently forced into a constant state of beta wave survival, leaving you operating on bare minimum energy while trying to fight massive spiritual battles. This artificial suppression is exactly what the enemy needed. When your gamma signal dropped, your spiritual defenses dropped too. That is the only reason the narcissists were able to enter your timeline. Your suppressed brain could not detect their demonic attachments until they were already deeply embedded inside your inner circle. You were fighting a massive spiritual war with a completely disabled radar system. Most people will live their entire earthly lives without ever knowing this happened to them. They will blindly accept the daily struggle as normal. You are absolutely not most people. And that crucial question I asked you to hold in your mind a few minutes ago, the one about a painful gap and a hidden scientific name, the answer to that profound mystery is so much closer than you think, and it is going to change everything. Everything that went wrong in your past was not a punishment. It was merely a symptom of this stolen frequency. Your inability to manifest your deepest dreams was never about a lack of faith. It was a neurological blockade. You prayed for financial freedom and deep kingdom connections, but the receiver in your mind was deliberately tuned to the wrong station. Let that realization wash over your tired spirit right now. Breathe it deeply in. The painful failure was never your fault. The toxic relationships you endured were drawn to your suppressed state, not your true identity. You have been carrying the heavy guilt of those painful mistakes for years, and now heaven is granting you full permission to drop that heavy baggage on the floor. Your spirit has always known that something vital was missing. That is why you never settled for an ordinary life. That is why the fake smiles of the Matrix always made you feel absolutely sick to your stomach. Your soul was desperately crying out for its original frequency, and the heavy spiritual attacks you recently faced are hard proof that your dormant gamma is finally trying to wake up. The dark forces are absolutely terrified of a chosen one who realizes their brainwave has been hijacked. They desperately need you to stay exhausted. They want you stuck in beta wave anxiety forever, because the moment you reactivate that dormant signal, you become a massive threat to their entire system of control. Their fake reality simply cannot exist in the blinding presence of your restored gamma light. You are standing on the very edge of a massive revelation. The humiliation ritual you survived was their last desperate attempt to keep your frequency dangerously low. They failed miserably. Your pure spirit recognized the danger and pulled you out of the fire. But understanding the physical block is only the first step of this journey, and you must now understand exactly how the enemy operates in the shadows. They use specific dark tactics to keep your energy suppressed on a daily basis. They constantly feed off your emotional reactions to keep your brain locked in a state of absolute panic. When you learn their exact playbook, they lose all their hidden power over you. Your quiet authority begins with knowing exactly who and what you are dealing with in this realm. Do not look away from this brutal truth. Now I need you to look closely at the people who orchestrated that pain. The narcissists who tried to break you are not powerful beings. They are completely empty vessels walking around in human skin. They have absolutely no internal light of their own, and because they are entirely hollow inside, they must constantly steal energy from pure souls just to survive another day. They spotted your blinding light the very second you walked into the room. They felt the heavy weight of your spiritual authority. But instead of being inspired by your grace, they were completely consumed by extreme jealousy. Your pure existence is a constant reminder of everything they can never be. They hate you because your truth violently exposes their hidden lies. That is the real reason behind their cruel humiliation ritual. It was never about a mistake you made or a flaw in your character. The attack was a desperate display of pure panic. They saw your spiritual power growing stronger every single day, and they knew their toxic masks were slipping right in front of your highly observant eyes. They had to strike first to protect their fake image. They tried to publicly shame you to keep you small and compliant. They wanted to trigger an emotional reaction so they could feast on your pain. A narcissist literally feeds on your confusion and your desperate attempts to explain yourself. But when you refuse to engage with their demonic circus, you completely starved them. You cut off their primary energy supply in one single move. Your silence was the most lethal weapon you could have ever used against them. It trapped them in a room with their own toxic reflections. Now they are suffocating in the exact darkness they tried to project onto you. They are frantically looking for new victims, while their own carefully constructed lives slowly fall apart. You are watching the ultimate spiritual purge unfold. Heaven deliberately allowed them to push you to the very edge. The universe used their wicked betrayal as a massive broom to sweep the trash out of your life. If they had never shown their true evil faces, you would have kept trying to heal them. You would have wasted another 10 years pouring your sacred energy into a bottomless black hole. The humiliation ritual was actually a rescue mission. They thought they were burying you under their heavy lies, but they did not realize you were a divine seed. The immense pressure they applied only forced your spiritual roots to grow deeper and stronger into the truth. You survived the brutal purge that breaks ordinary people completely, and now your energetic field is entirely sealed off from their pathetic manipulations forever. Do not ever let them make you feel guilty for walking away permanently. A healed person no longer tolerates disrespect, heavily disguised as brutal honesty. You no longer entertain confusion, carefully wrapped in fake love. The empath who used to apologize for breathing is completely gone. You have successfully graduated from the most difficult spiritual crucible. You are now standing in a place of absolute quiet authority. Your energy demands deep respect without a single word being spoken. The people who betrayed you can feel this massive shift in the spiritual realm. They know they lost access to the most valuable soul they will ever meet, and that heavy regret will quietly eat them alive for the rest of their miserable earthly lives. But you must keep your eyes completely focused on the road ahead. Looking back at their destruction will only slow your momentum down. You have been violently purged from their toxic timeline, so you can step into your divine inheritance. The empty space around you right now is not a barren desert. It is a cleared runway prepared exactly for your massive spiritual take-off. Every curse they whispered behind your back has been officially reversed by heaven. Every trap they carefully set for your feet has caught them instead. You are walking under a heavy canopy of divine protection that they cannot even begin to understand. They are completely locked out of your new reality. Your light is simply too blinding for their fragile egos to handle anymore. The dark forces tried to use these human agents to keep your frequency permanently suppressed. They failed because your spirit is incredibly resilient. But the damage to your nervous system and your blocked brainwaves still needs to be fully addressed. The universe has severely punished your enemies. Now it is time to actively restore the magnificent power they temporarily stole from you. The spiritual war is officially shifting today. It is moving directly to your internal biology. The narcissists are completely gone, but their dark venom is still trying to keep your brain trapped in survival mode. The purge of toxic people was only the first phase. Your total liberation requires one more critical step. The next phase will reactivate your physical genius. The spiritual storm has finally passed, and your timeline is completely clear. The toxic people who drained your precious life force have been permanently removed by divine intervention. Now heaven is carefully preparing your physical vessel for the incredible blessing that was always meant to be yours. A massive transformation is unfolding in your life right now. But your physical body is still trying to catch up to this new spiritual reality. Your soul is completely free and vibrating at a high frequency. Meanwhile, your brain is still trapped in the heavy beta wave survival loop they forced upon you. This deep disconnect creates an intense physical friction. You can literally feel this heavy resistance in your bones. You feel this painful friction every single day when you wake up. You know deep down you are destined for massive wealth and profound kingdom connections, but your mind still feels cloudy and completely blocked when you try to take action. The spiritual vision is crystal clear, but the physical execution feels like walking through thick, heavy mud. The dark forces want you to stay trapped in this heavy friction forever. They desperately need you to remain exhausted and confused. Because if your physical brain actually aligns with your healed spirit, you become absolutely unstoppable. They are terrified of a chosen one who operates with both spiritual purity and physical mental dominance. Before we go any further into your divine upgrade, I have to tell you something. It is something the elite people who profit from your endless exhaustion desperately do not want you to know. The secret to bridging this painful gap is not a religious ritual. It is a profound biological truth that has been intentionally hidden from the chosen ones. A brilliant team of neuroscientists, working quietly away from the loud headlines, have discovered how to bring this dormant brainwave back. They figured out how to safely restore the exact frequency you lost as a child. And they did it without requiring any massive spiritual effort or complicated daily routines. The solution is finally here, in the physical realm. You do not need to sit through years of frustrating, silent meditation. You do not need to buy biofeedback machines that cost thousands of dollars and require a sterile clinical setting. The answer is far simpler and much more aligned with how God designed your beautiful body. The universe always provides the exact tool when you are truly ready. These quiet researchers found a specific sound frequency engineered to guide your brainwave patterns directly back to the genius state. It gently forces the physical brain to remember its original divine tuning. Science is finally catching up to what your beautiful soul already knew all along. The physical block in your mind can literally be dissolved. Princeton University studied this exact phenomenon in their labs. The Einstein Center in Berlin completely confirmed the incredible results. They proved that when this specific brainwave is reactivated, the mind enters a state of effortless flow. Problems that used to take months to solve suddenly resolve themselves in a matter of a few short days. Columbia University even found that this restored frequency does not stop with you. When your brainwave is reactivated, the pure signal radiates outward into your environment. It begins to positively influence your children and the people you love the most. You literally become a walking sanctuary of peace and brilliant clarity for your entire family. It only takes 7 minutes a day to achieve this state. That is all it requires from your busy schedule. And the profound neurological recalibration begins working the very first time you close your eyes and listen. It bypasses your conscious doubts and works directly on the biological hardware. Your pure spirit just needs your brain to finally cooperate. I will tell you exactly what this is called and how to access it before this message ends. But first, there is a fatal trap you need to understand about the coming blessing. The enemy has set one final snare right at the edge of your promised land. You must recognize this specific danger before you can safely cross over into your new, abundant reality. The universe is preparing to pour incredible financial and emotional abundance directly into your lap. But if your brain is still running on the old survival frequency, you will literally block the blessing from entering your life. A broken physical receiver simply cannot catch a pure divine signal. You will sabotage the very miracle you prayed for. God is actively broadcasting immense wealth, perfect health, and pure kingdom love right now. But your biological antenna is currently pointed at the wrong station. You cannot receive a high-definition blessing on a broken frequency. This is why so many chosen ones stay poor and lonely, despite having incredible faith and doing the deep shadow work. This is the massive internal shift that is happening inside you right now. You are upgrading the physical hardware to perfectly match the beautiful spiritual software that heaven just downloaded. When these two forces finally align, the old struggles will evaporate like mist in the morning sun. You are preparing to step into your era of total dominance. The universe is speaking to you clearly now. The heavy fog is finally lifting. Your spiritual vision is rapidly sharpening. You are starting to notice undeniable signs everywhere you look. But this newfound clarity is exactly what the dark forces are desperately trying to block right before your massive financial and spiritual breakthrough. You are seeing angel numbers everywhere you go. 111, 777. Every time you look at the clock, the universe is winking at you. These are absolutely not random coincidences. They are direct confirmations from the heavenly realm that your earthly timeline is now perfectly aligned with the ultimate divine plan. Your frequency is shifting. And then there are the intense dreams. You wake up with vivid memories of massive spiritual battles where you actually won. You feel completely victorious in your deep sleep. Your subconscious mind is rapidly clearing out years of accumulated toxic energy, while your physical body rests in profound peace. The heavy trauma is finally leaving your system. The daily synchronicities are becoming impossible to ignore. You think of a specific problem, and the exact answer arrives in a random conversation a few hours later. You feel a sudden internal urge to avoid a certain street. And later you discover you just bypassed a major physical disaster. Your restored intuition is acting as a flawless internal compass. But here is the fatal trap I warned you about earlier. Right when your spiritual radar comes back online, the enemy will send a massive test. They will dangle a toxic counterfeit right in front of your face to see if you have truly learned your painful lesson. You must be heavily guarded right now, because the illusion will look incredibly real. An old toxic person from your past will suddenly reach out. They will send a casual text message right when you are feeling genuinely happy. They will pretend that nothing bad ever happened between you two. Do not reply to that demonic bait. That is the universe testing the absolute strength of your newly forged boundaries. They are checking to see if your frequency is still vulnerable to their empty manipulation. In the past, you would have felt guilty and answered them immediately. You would have given them full access to your precious energy. But this time, you felt a sudden tightness in your chest. Your physical body instantly recognized the hidden spiritual danger. That immediate physical reaction is hard proof that your discernment is completely healed. You did not even hesitate. You looked at their empty words and felt absolutely nothing but quiet authority. You simply deleted the message and continued walking in your brilliant light. You passed the final spiritual exam with absolute flying colors. The miracle you have been patiently waiting for is literally standing at your front door. The universe had to ensure you could protect the blessing before handing it over. Heaven absolutely refuses to give a massive kingdom treasure to someone who still leaves their spiritual doors completely unlocked. Your absolute silence was the final key. Now you are operating on a completely different level of awareness. You can walk into a crowded room and immediately read the energetic signatures of everyone present. You instantly know who is safe and who is secretly hiding dark intentions. You are no longer easily fooled by charming smiles and empty promises. You are a true weapon of light. The people around you are starting to notice this massive shift. They see a quiet confidence in your eyes that genuinely intimidates the weak ones. The narcissists will naturally avoid you now because they know they cannot penetrate your thick energy shield. Your pure aura automatically repels anything that does not serve your highest good. Take a deep breath right now. Feel that incredible lightness expanding inside your chest. The heavy chains of the past are completely broken. You are stepping into the most powerful era of your earthly existence. Every delay you suffered was just the universe calibrating your spirit for this exact moment of pure activation. You are finally ready. Your biological receiver is incredibly hungry for the final physical key. Your beautiful soul has already done the heavy lifting, and now your brain is screaming for that hidden frequency to be permanently restored. The gap between your current reality and your divine destiny is closing rapidly. You are merely seconds away from the ultimate revelation. Do not let the dark forces distract you right at the finish line. They want you to close this video before you receive the exact physical mechanism that unlocks your stolen gamma wave. They are absolutely terrified of what you will become when this knowledge is fully activated. Stay perfectly still and listen closely to what I am about to share next. The wait is completely over. The spiritual desert you walked through is suddenly bursting into absolute victory. Can you feel that incredible shift in your spirit right now? That is the frequency of pure liberation. And the question I asked you to hold at the beginning of this message has a final answer. What if the heavy gap is not a character flaw? Here is the absolute truth. A specific frequency called the gamma wave was running in you as a child at absolute genius capacity. Princeton University has studied it. The Einstein Center in Berlin completely confirmed it. And a dedicated team of neuroscientists, led by Dr. Robert Lake in New York, spent years compressing the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation into just 7 minutes. This is the profound physical key. Before I tell you what they built, let me tell you about 2 people who actually used it. A woman from California had tried absolutely everything. She tried meditation, manifesting, and endless prayer. Nothing broke the heavy fog. But after 2 weeks of listening to this frequency, she said something miraculously cleared. Not that she tried harder, but the blocked channel simply opened. Her failing marriage suddenly shifted into deep love. She described her daily life as completely enchanted for the very first time. Then a man from Texas started using it to improve his business focus. 2 months later, his wife joked that his IQ had jumped 20 points. The hardest problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves automatically while he rested, because his brain was fully restored. He said it felt like his brain was finally running on what it was always supposed to run on. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his brilliant team built. They call it the Genius Song. It is not a frustrating meditation app. It is a 7-minute audio track using advanced brain entrainment technology to safely guide your mind back to its original divine state. This is your true inheritance. This is the exact same underlying research that Princeton and Berlin completely validated, but they compressed it from 1 full hour of clinical protocol into something you simply do at home. You put on headphones, close your eyes, and relax. You do not chant. You do not force anything. The Genius Song is absolutely not for everyone walking the earth right now. It requires a prepared spirit. It is specifically for the chosen one who has already done the heavy inner work. It is for the rare soul who understands that their faith is perfectly fine, but the physical receiver is broken. Standard biofeedback sessions to restore this state cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a clinical setting. An in-home machine easily runs thousands of dollars. The elite want to keep this secret. What the Genius Song delivers in 7 minutes is available to you today for a fraction of its true value. And 4 powerful bonuses come immediately with it. You get an audio track designed perfectly for your children to boost their absolute focus. You get the original prosperity text that the secret was secretly built upon. You get a beautiful guided visualization. And you get a daily habits guide built to permanently sustain this brilliant gamma state. Here is the deeper spiritual truth about waiting. The beautiful provision God arranged for you does not arrive as something completely new. It arrives as something you suddenly recognize, and a suppressed brain entirely misses the divine recognition. A restored brain receives it at full capacity. What has been placed in your path for this season is already there. The chosen one who restores the receiver today finally sees what was always waiting for them. Do not look for this specific track on YouTube or Spotify. The fake versions on those platforms have absolutely no brain entrainment technology encoded. They carry the same name to steal your attention, but they will lower your pure vibration. The only authentic version is safely protected. The universe requires absolutely no risk from you. If you do not feel the massive energetic shift, every single penny is returned to you. That is an energetic exchange governed by complete divine trust. The authentic portal is available through the link that has been placed in the description and the pinned comment below. But hear me clearly right now. The physical tool is not the final destination. The tool merely restores the physical receiver so the true destination can be properly recognized when it finally arrives. God never requires you to purchase love or spiritual favor. What was just described is simply one powerful way the broken receiver is restored. Whether that specific path is for you or not, the absolute truth of this divine message belongs to you entirely. You are completely loved and divinely protected. Now let us go much deeper into what is actually waiting for you on the other side of this transition. Your spiritual authority is fully back online. The universe is ready to move. You have reached the end of this profound journey. The heavy storm sent to destroy you has completely passed. You stand in the brilliant light of a brand new era. The people who plotted your downfall are permanently locked out of your sacred timeline. You are completely safe right now. You are no longer the fragile empath. You do not beg for basic human decency anymore. The intense crucible of pain has forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. Your pure energy demands absolute respect from everyone around you. The divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your hands today. Look at how far your beautiful soul has traveled. You survived the brutal humiliation ritual with absolute grace. Everyone else thought you would crumble into dust. You protected your pure heart when the entire world tried to make you incredibly bitter. Heaven is deeply proud of your silent endurance. Every tear you cried in secret is being transformed into a massive generational blessing. The invisible chains are completely broken today. You are the powerful cycle breaker your ancestors desperately prayed for. Your incredible victory rewrites the future for your entire family. They will never suffer the way you suffered. The deep isolation you felt was never an abandonment. It was a divine cocoon designed for your ultimate protection. And now you are emerging from that quiet darkness with wings made of pure fire. You can finally see the grand design behind every single painful rejection you faced. You are completely free from their heavy illusions. Your spirit deeply confirmed what was described earlier. The specific path to officially restore your physical receiver remains open in the description and pinned comment below. That is the last time it will be mentioned. What follows now belongs entirely to your profound spiritual ceiling. The final lock is turning right now. Listen very closely to what I am about to tell you. The dark forces are absolutely furious right now. They hate that you made it this far into the divine message. They know you hold the absolute truth in your hands, and they will desperately try to attack your mind the second you look away from this screen. You must protect this new frequency. You cannot simply absorb this massive revelation and walk away quietly. A high-level spiritual activation requires a physical act of obedience. You must lock it permanently into place. Anchor this divine energy into the physical realm before the enemy tries to snatch it away. The universe is waiting for your confirmation. The pitch-black darkness has officially retreated behind you. The dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown. You must permanently lock in this glorious frequency and create an absolute shield of protection around your aura. Type Amen down in the comments right now. Seal this beautiful reality today. Typing that simple word is a physical sword. It cuts through the invisible chains of your painful past. It tells the heavenly realm that you are absolutely ready to receive the massive blessing waiting at your door. Do not hesitate for a single second. Claim your divine inheritance loudly today. This fiery message has reignited the powerful faith inside your tired soul. Do not keep this great blessing entirely to yourself. There is another pure soul out there, bleeding in the dark of despair. They are desperately waiting for a guiding light to lead them out of the heavy fog. Be that brilliant light for them today. Share this profound message with someone who desperately needs to hear it. Sowing the seed of hope into their life today is multiplying the massive blessing for yourself tomorrow. When you protect another chosen one from the darkness, heaven immediately reinforces your own spiritual walls. Your kindness is a lethal weapon. The old season of waiting and weeping is officially over. The heavy doors that were slammed in your face are being blown completely off their hinges. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. The universe is placing a heavy crown of quiet authority upon your head. Wear it with absolute grace and inner power. Remember that you were never broken by the heavy stones they threw at you. You merely used those stones to build an impenetrable fortress around your precious heart. Your enemies will spend the rest of their empty lives watching you rise to heights they can never reach. Let them watch in absolute silence. You truly soar now. You are perfectly loved. You are divinely protected in every single step you take. You are the chosen one who survived the hardest battle and emerged completely victorious. Keep your pure heart wide open to the incredible miracles that are rushing toward you right now. The greatest chapter of your earthly life officially begins today. Do not ever let anyone dim your brilliant light again. You have fought too hard to reach this beautiful place of peace. The universe is deeply honoring your incredible sacrifice. Walk forward with your head held high and your spirit completely free. I will see you very soon in the next divine transmission.